Hi, so I'm doing another unexpected video. This is a follow-up from the upload I just did earlier in the reading, the 15 Pieces of Flair reading. After I wrapped that reading up, I got another channeled message for myself because I've been down to my last bottle of Wild Rose mead, which mead is honey wine. I made this mead myself. I went out into nature, into the into the wilds where I'm allowed to go. I harvested the Nootka Wild Rose petals myself. I bought local raw honey, and I made a 5-gallon batch of mead a couple years ago. That's another thing that Oshun likes. And I've been setting an intention and asking Spirit what would be a nice way to honor my final bottle of the mead I made. It's the last one. And just kind of waiting for an answer because I want to treat it well. I put a lot of heart and soul and work into making that mead, and it was a spiritual practice. And right after I wrapped up the reading, I had a message: you're to go down to the river and offer your mead to the waters. And you're to do that because of the original council of the 13 indigenous grandmothers who asked the people of the planet, how do you pray? And that was part of their message of healing that they came together to bring to the planet. And at the time that they asked, I didn't know how I prayed. I spoke to myself and my conscience. That's how I prayed, but I didn't consider that prayer. And so I started to find a prayer practice that made sense for me, and it became this type of thing. I went to the site of Celilo Falls, which is inundated by Lake Celilo and the Dalles Dam, because Celilo is where I first had my calling that I'm supposed to serve nature. I know this is a long-winded story. I'm trying to just get it out because it's raining. And I prayed at the site of Lake Celilo. This is before I met my dear friend and sister Lana Jack, who is Celilo from Celilo Village, and we've worked together for many years since around this time in my life. While I was meditating at Celilo, I had the guidance to take a rock from the site, and it's a Chalcedony rock, and I keep it with me as a reminder for my commitment that I made to the falls. So I'm not to give this rock back here because I was a little sad about that, but I was prepared to, but it's to be kept with me as a reminder for why I'm doing this work and where I was first called to do it, which is the spirit of Celilo. And I grew up, luckily, around Celilo on this river, just way further upstream. So now what I'm going to do is make my offerings. And the last bit I'll share is that these are offerings to the whales that are in sorrow over the losses of their calves. I went and made an offering to the orca mother to share in her grief in Ilwaco at the ocean when she carried her baby for something like 17 days at the surface so that we would all witness. Emmett Till's mother comes to mind, that this mother wanted us to bear witness to something that is avoidable. Now I'm being asked to do that again because a dwarf sperm whale washed up in Florida that was still living. It's a baby. It was no longer with its mother. It was on the brink of death. And so people who love nature gathered around this baby. They comforted her. They euthanized her, and now we have the autopsy result that she swallowed a plastic bag. And as I watched that story, my heart was so crushed, and I was mourning again. And now Oshun this morning is telling me, this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go to these waters and make your offering and mourn with the whale mothers, with Palestinian mothers, with all mothers who've lost children. And my sister, Rhonda, my friend Leah. So my mother lost me when she died. So now I'm going to go make this offering. I also have a vulture feather, my sunflower from my altar, and a few other things in here. Let me see what else. In fact, I'll just pan this down here so we can look at it together. There's my mead. Oh yeah. I'm going to leave an apple for the deer. Nature spirits here. A pomegranate for the Palestinian children. Here's my vulture, my orange, my sunflower for Oshun. These are going to be offerings to the river along with this mead. So come with me and we're going to do this right now. And here's my candle. It's a bergamot candle. Okay. Thank you for guiding me to do this. This is an answer to the 13 Indigenous grandmothers' question to all of us around the world. How do you pray? This is my prayer for an end to this kind of suffering where baby whales don't die with plastic in their stomachs and birds aren't building their nests with microplastics. This is my prayer. This is my prayer. And here's my wild rose honey wine. There's a kingfisher. Hi, beautiful. A kingfisher symbolizes a lightning bolt, and the thunderbird, we're in the thunderbird country here, which is also a symbol of thunder and lightning. The rainbow serpent is a symbol of thunder and lightning. The feathered serpent, I'm wearing my serpent earrings, so I'm honoring these spirits as I make this honey wine offering in honor of the whales, in honor of Palestinian mothers, in honor of Oshun and the way that she came to me and gave me these instructions. Okay. Sorry for this kind of janky setup here. It's raining. I don't really know how to do this otherwise. I didn't want to try to deal with my whole tripod, so I know this is a very shaky video. My apologies in advance. Thank you for being here with me for this prayer. And now these are the fruits and things of nature that I'll leave for the land spirits and for She Who Watches. Thank you.